Hey, what's up, you guys? It's your favorite sports chica, Carolina Teague. This is episode 59. We're almost at episode 60 of League of Our Own. Welcome back. It is a manic Monday, and talk about manic. We just had our interview boot camp here at VodPod Media Studios with some of the top talent in San Antonio. David Cardenas, three-time world national boxing champion for the amateurs, came on. And we had pretty boy Rick Nunez as well. We had Robert Morales, Kevin Ayala, and TMB promoter Rick Morones Jr. come in to do an interview boot camp with some of the best young talents in San Antonio. And we were just hustling. Isn't that right, Gylan?
You were hustling.
I
was sitting back
too.
looking cute.
But you were hustling too, though. You were, you had to set everything up, record the interviews. You got Chris in the back, helped us out too. So
yes,
I mean, it was like a whirlwind of interviews, but we learned so much about some of the youngest talent in San Antonio, and we actually had a really good time. Those interviews are going to be out in like 24 to 48 hours. So if you guys love San Antonio, you guys love San Antonio boxing, that's going to be out for you really soon. But today we're going to be talking about a lot of things. We're talking about the Bears. We're talking about how they suck and how I'm depressed. We're talking about my tour around Texas, the queen, Jade Cargill of the WWE. Gylan, I'm sure you've heard of her. And also,
I had not heard of her.
You don't know who Jade Cargill is?
I know who she is now.
Phenomenon.
Woo. That woman, yeah, she is. She's going to be fire.
She already is.
Can you imagine, true.
Can you imagine like where she's going to go from here? But let's talk about our weekend. Gylan didn't have the greatest week ever. Do you want to touch base on what happened
Hold
to
up.
you?
That was last Wednesday.
That's still last week since we saw each other.
Yeah, but that was last week. I'm good now.
So what happened? Tell the people what happened, because we're always keeping it real here on the show.
So I was here. Let me jump in. So what happened is I was going to buy a table. I pulled into a driveway, slowly pulled out of a driveway, and a guy decided to rear end me going about 40, maybe 50 miles an hour on a public road. Unfortunately, because I was backing up, it is my fault.
So, but technically it wasn't your fault because he ran into you.
No, it's not my fault. It's not my fault.
But the way that insurance companies work is it is your fault.
It will be my fault, correct.
Right. So what advice would you give people? And first of all, are you okay? How are you feeling?
Fine.
How are you feeling? Okay.
Yeah, my butt perked up a little bit, but I'm fine.
What does that mean? Your butt is perking up? What does that mean?
Puckered up. Puckered up. I got hit. My ass puckered up.
My God. That's what I was going to say. So how do you feel about like everything like now? You feel better? You didn't get injured or anything?
Yeah, no,
like
I'm good. I'm good. I don't dwell a lot. I was a little emotional, upset. I really like that car. Not too sure what's going to happen with the car. But in a week or so we'll figure it out and we'll go from there.
Yeah, and also too, like, how are you getting to and from everywhere right now?
So, luckily, my buddy Nick had an extra car that he's selling, and so he let me use it. And depending, I might wind up just buying that car off of him.
Nice. And do you want to buy a new car? Like, how are you feeling?
No, not necessarily, because I could be out of debt on a car within a year if I buy it from Nick. I want to travel. I want to do other things. I want to put more money into the studio.
Exactly.
Get a better look on stuff. So, it's one of those things.
Well, I'm glad you're doing okay. That's all that matters to me. Because I was worried about you. I was like, is he going to be all right? But I over worry and I turn into a mom.
Yes.
Yeah. So
we just talked about that a few minutes ago.
We did. I bet you that's so overbearing to you, and I'm sorry.
What, you being a mom?
Yeah.
Oh, you are a mom.
I know, but it's like I'm a mom, but I'm also like a pain in the ass.
No comment.
I was going to say, so for me, this weekend, I was all over Texas, and I actually almost got into a car accident when I was headed to Dallas, because I went to Dallas, came back to San Antonio to cover TMB's media promotion event that they have coming up for the fight this Saturday. Then I drove to Houston for the Steelers versus Texans game. On my way to Dallas, there's an 18-wheeler, and the tire blew out. And I thought something was going to happen to me. I was like, oh, my God. I freaked out. It was right next to me. The tires blew out on the 18-wheeler. So I got scared. I heard the pop and everything. It didn't feel good.
But you're here.
But I'm here. I went to Dallas. I went to Dallas. I was at VIP Wrestling. Enjoyed VIP Wrestling. Oh, Tim Gonzalez is here. Thanks for watching, Tim. I got into, or I went to VIP Wrestling. They treated me really, really good. Fine-tuned my ring announcing skills because I love ring announcing. Then I went to the Texans versus Steelers game. And I don't know. The NFL games, they're just not giving to me right now. I'm just not happy with the NFL.
What do you mean you're not happy with the NFL?
I'm just not happy watching the NFL right now because my team officially sucks.
Oh, so because your team sucks, you have a problem with the NFL now?
Yes. Not, and
okay.
It's not like on purpose. I'm not like purposely having a problem with the NFL. It's just the fact that my team has lost so many games, 14 in a row, a franchise record, and they're the only team across hockey, baseball, and football and basketball in the national leagues in America that haven't won a game since October of 2022. They're the only team that's not won a game in over a year, and it's humiliating, and it feels very, I don't know, it's debilitating. That's what I could say about that. And it makes me not want to watch the NFL. The whole time I was at the Texans versus Steelers game, I could not enjoy myself because when you're at the Texans game, when they're running the scoreboard, they have the updates on the other games going on. So I saw that the Chicago Bears were up 21 points against the Broncos, who had just lost 50 points to the Dolphins.
Okay, so hold up. I got a segment on this because I think you want to talk about it a little bit more.
Yeah.
So let's get to that segment. So you were in Dallas, Houston, San Antonio. Did you do ring announcing in Dallas?
Yes, I did ring announcing in Dallas at VIP Wrestling for their 9-year anniversary. It's a 9-year birthday party. And let me just tell you, it's really hard to have 9 years of longevity in any type of field.
Yeah,
so
big time.
So congratulations to VIP Wrestling in Dallas for doing an incredible job and inviting me out. And I actually really loved Dallas. I loved the vibe there. Everybody, the production was there. It was really good. I got to announce WWE superstar Johnny Morrison for the main event. That was incredible. So a lot of good things happened. It was fun for me, and I had a great time.
Cool.
Yeah. Then I went to San Antonio, like I said, just to cover TMB's media presser. I picked up my family, and then we drove to the Texans game in Houston.
Did you drive or did your family drive?
My family drove.
Good.
I was like, I'm not driving.
Yeah.
If you want to go to this game, I'm not driving, but I will be a passenger.
in the seat.
Yeah, exactly. What is it called?
Gotcha.
What do they call those? Like backseat drivers? I don't know.
Backseat driver. Yeah, that's
yeah.
you.
You're a
backseat
princess.
producer. Backseat.
I was a passenger princess.
That's a pillow princess.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother thing. Look up pillow princess. Everybody look up pillow princess.
I'm gonna look that up right now.
No, that's not suitable for work.
Pillow princess. We're not at work though, so let's see.
Oh, we're not at work. We are kind of at work.
A pillow princess is someone who, typically a woman, who wants to receive sexual pleasure but is not interested in giving it. What does that mean? Oh, that you don't want to give pleasure. Oh, so you're boring, essentially, right?
You're a pillow princess.
Yeah, you're boring.
No, not necessarily boring. It's generally used as a term when people are talking about women that have bisexual tendencies, but they don't want to give. They just want to receive. So they're known as pillow princesses.
So isn't that like selfish a little bit?
No, they're just not necessarily lazy, just one of those things.
Well, isn't that bad?
I don't know.
I guess it depends on who you are and who's
receiving.
Yeah,
exactly. All right. Sucker punch segment.
Oh my God, I was gonna say, I just noticed we're not live on Facebook, but we're not trying to be right now, right?
We were, but I don't know why it's not.
We're transitioning. So shout out to everybody watching on YouTube right now. We got 5 people there, so I didn't know.
Don't say how many people. We got people watching. Yo, so Canelo versus Charlo. You know, everybody was like, "Yo, let's go out, watch this fight." Maximo was texting me. It was like, "Yo, I'm at Smoke." Boxing just doesn't do it for me anymore. There's
like
I don't want to watch these poor guys get pummeled for 12 to 15 rounds, and as a human punching bag, that's not enjoyable for me.
So it's 12 rounds. They don't ever go past 15 because they might die.
I said 12 to 15.
You said 12 to 15.
Yeah.
They only do 12 rounds.
Well,
max.
now, back in my day, they did 15.
Oh, 15. Yeah, then they stopped it because people were dying. Yeah. So, but maybe that's why it doesn't thrill you anymore.
What? Because nobody's dying?
Yeah, because nobody's died.
No, it's just, I think Mayweather messed it up for me.
Why?
As much as I'm a fan of Mayweather and his craziness and everything else, because he was a defensive boxer. I like the combat, and I think that's one of the reasons why UFC has like my heart right now, because it's combat.
Right. Well, so is boxing. It's a combat sport.
Okay.
Wrestling's a combat sport.
Huh?
Wrestling's a combat sport. You know that, right?
Sure.
No, it actually is, because when we had the final match with Johnny Morrison, Tim said, what did CT say? Johnny Morrison? Yeah, Johnny Morrison. I announced him. The last match was like an MMA match. They had grapple style. Like, it was essentially an MMA match.
But it was still scripted.
Like I said, it was an MMA match, and it's still a combat sport, whether you want to acknowledge that or not.
It's scripted, though. It's not the same.
But we're not
boxing,
talking
boxing, UFC, and wrestling, or WWE entertainment. That is a way different form of combat sport.
No, we are not talking about whether or not you think it's real or scripted or not. We are talking about, is it a combat sport? And the answer is yes.
No.
Wrestling is a combat sport. Jiu-jitsu is a combat sport. Kickboxing is a combat sport. Boxing, karate, Muay Thai.
If you put Muay Thai, boxing, jiu-jitsu in a ring with a wrestler, the wrestler would get hurt.
No, oh my God, stop disrespecting wrestling. You have no idea what you're talking about right now.
Look at Brock Lesnar.
I don't know. I don't want to look at anything. I know what I'm talking about. Like,
no, you're delusional. It is not the same thing. And there's no way that it's just not the same thing. Now, are they athletes? Are they amazing?
Can they whoop?
Yes.
They could whoop.
Can they get hurt?
They could whoop ass like in real life. Yes, they can. They can. They just choose to practice safety. That's what it is.
Oh, choose to practice safety?
They choose to wrestle in a safe manner so they don't kill nobody or paralyze them. But if it really came down to the nitty gritty and they had to do something like that, they could probably whoop a lot of people's asses because they're very athletic and talented too.
But athletic doesn't. Have you ever seen like the bodybuilders go up against pro wrestlers or other people? Right? And they're like, we can. And jiu-jitsu, people destroy them. Real grapplers destroy athletic pro bodybuilder top people.
We're talking about Canelo versus Charlo.
No,
I'm not going to get into this with you. I'm not going to. I don't know why. And you know what? You know why you thought it was boring? Because all of social media said it was boring.
No, not at all. I didn't watch the fight. I didn't even look at social media. I looked at social media.
So how would you know it was boring if you didn't watch the fight?
Because I went and looked at a highlight of the fight, and there was an article, and they said basically the third round, the fight was over.
So you didn't watch the fight, but you said it was boring because everybody else said it was boring.
Sure. Yeah, fine. I own that.
Okay. So if you watch the fight, the only reason why it was giving boring. And
okay. So then what are you defending?
The only reason why it was boring, though, is because Charlo did not give his best performance at all. It's not Canelo's fault that the fight was boring.
Canelo, it's not. Listen, I respect boxing. I respect Canelo and what he's done. I'm just not enthralled to spend $60 to $80 or go hang out with a bunch of fools that smoke and possibly get shot up.
Okay, so I like to watch boxing at the comfort of my home, and I would pay for something like this, but I didn't buy the fight, and I'm going to say why I didn't buy the fight, because I watched these.
Man, how's the intern come in late and leave? Just leave in the middle of the damn show.
Because he got to go. Bye.
No,
Bye, Chris.
All right, man. Thanks, Chris.
Okay, so what I'm saying is like, Um, Canelo, like, it's $80 first and foremost. Like, it's $80 to buy a fight. I didn't want to buy the fight because I saw the Showtime promotions leading up to it. And I know this is going to sound messed up, but Charlo, watching even the lead up to the fight, he didn't seem like he was as dedicated as Canelo was. So I felt like Canelo was going to win. And my premonition was right. He dominated in every single round, and it was Charlo's second knockdown of his career that night. So I didn't purchase the fight because I was doing other things. I was on my way to Houston, as I said. But I did watch the highlights, and it was a dominant performance by Canelo versus Charlo.
I'm just seeing the same things over and over again in boxing. And I just haven't been in awe in boxing. Now, we have some great young fighters coming up, and hopefully, but I just haven't been in awe as of late.
You're tripping. Boxing's having some of the best fights of the year. You have Garcia versus Tank.
You know what? There's been at least 3 or 4 fights this year. Oh, the fight of the year. Come on. Everything's not the fight of the year.
Plant versus Benavidez was good. Tank versus Garcia was good.
You're a big fighting fan.
That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to say, if you're into boxing, yeah, you're going to see that these fights are not boring.
Right.
So that's all I'm saying. And the real sucker punch is the people who pay the $80 to buy this fight, because apparently it wasn't giving the way it was supposed to give. Charlo moved up in weight classes to try to take all of Canelo's undisputed belts. He wasn't successful. Luckily for him, he retains the belts that he currently has and wants to fight Terrence Crawford next, because I don't know. I know you don't keep up with boxing, but it is kind of like a novella. Charlo has been talking a lot of crap about Terrence Crawford because he's really good friends with Errol Spence. Terrence Crawford says, you didn't even look like you tried in this performance. So now Charlo wants to fight Terrence Crawford, and I think Terrence Crawford, based off of this performance, he could bust that ass. So I'd like to see Terrence Crawford versus Charlo. That'd be awesome.
Well, we'll see what happens on that.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. And we got now our new segment called the wrestling. What is this segment called? The finishing move.
The finishing move.
The finishing move. This is our new segment, the finishing move.
I had no idea who this woman was.
Jade Cargill. And then when you saw, I had a feeling that Guyland didn't know who Jade Cargill was. And what were your first thoughts when I put this name up and you saw her picture for the first time?
Well, okay, so my sister's boyfriend is a doctor and a huge wrestling fan. Like, he actually says, because he didn't have a father, like, wrestling was his father figure when he was growing up, right? Mm-hmm. And I asked my sister, did she know who Jade Cargill was? And she said no. Mm-hmm. Now, I didn't ask him if he knew or not. I know who she is now. Mm-hmm. She's wow. She's a superstar. Everybody's saying she's a superstar. So, she's a badass.
So, Jade Cargill is a badass, and she's been with the AEW for a while. And
undefeated, right?
Undefeated, and she went with Tony Khan. Knew her contract was coming out. Who owns the AEW? He knew the contract was coming out. He was trying to renegotiate with her, bring her, give her a lot more money so that way she could stay with the AEW. And she ended up still deciding to leave for the WWE. She said it wasn't an easy decision, and I think probably maybe this was her dream, and she wanted to sign with them, and she finally built her name up to that point where she's one of the top dogs, if not the top dog right now in wrestling to look out for. So it doesn't come as a shocker that she signed with the WWE. But what the thing that kind of like stands out to me the most about this whole situation, usually when you sign to the WWE, you have to change your moniker, you have to change your name. Jade Cargill, this is her government name. She was able to keep her name with the WWE. So she's going to be known as Jade Cargill at the WWE as well. She doesn't have to change her name to somebody else. I
wonder if she's just going to be known as Jade.
No, she's going to be Jade Cargill. They said Jade Cargill. She's not going to change her name at all, which is almost damn near unheard of in the WWE. So that just says a lot about the power that she had with negotiating this deal with the WWE. That's how big of a star she is. And it says a lot about the possible negotiations that she could have with endorsements and other deals, because she doesn't have to change her name and be known as one moniker. And then if for some reason, if she leaves the WWE, she has to go back to her name. Like, for example, Sasha Banks is not known as Sasha Banks anymore. She's Mercedes Moné because she's with New Pro Japan. So
she had to give up her name. So WWE
owned Sasha Banks' name.
Right.
Now she's Mercedes Moné. And Jade Cargill is going to be Jade Cargill all across the board. So to me, that was the biggest part of this situation, that she got to keep her name. And that says a lot about who she is as a wrestler, how big her name is, her star power. And she's here to stay, and I cannot wait till she makes her debut with the WWE. It's going to be really exciting.
It's going to be huge.
Yeah.
It's going to be huge.
Yeah.
She is well-spoken. She's talented. She is absolutely stunning. She has a body chiseled like I've never seen before. And if it's all natural, which I pretty much think it is, but who knows? It's unbelievable. I saw her actually press it because I went and looked at clips. I actually saw her literally press a woman over her head and walk up the ring steps and throw over the rope, the rope, which was amazing.
That sounds about right. Right.
So she's extremely strong. I want to say she was a track athlete at one point before, and so she's stunning.
Yeah, and I'm excited to see her growth in the WWE. I mean, the only thing that sucks about the WWE versus AEW is with the WWE, you can't make money outside of the WWE. With the AEW, you can. Like, if you had AEW, you wanted to start an OnlyFans, you could do that. Or if you wanted to start a podcast, you could do that and make money other ways. But with the WWE, you have to have consent first. But I'm sure the payout is maybe bigger than AEW.
Yeah, I mean, she, knowing her, just understanding kind of like her story, something tells me she's getting paid and she's got all her bases covered.
Yeah, for sure. And she's already asking her fans who her first victim should be. So she's ready to go. So shout out to Jade Cargill. It's going to be really exciting seeing this move. So looking forward for all the future and things to come.
All right. Let's get it over with. The Bears.
So this team.
The L's. The Lairs. La Bears. Anything you want to do, throw an L in it because they suck. And that's 14 L's also, by the way, that I wrote in there.
Very strategic, and I love that.
Listen, I got to get rid of the coach. Done deal.
Yeah. When I went to the Steelers versus Texans game this past weekend, it was kind of like trying to move on. I wasn't trying to find a new team. I was just at a side chick team game and trying to just get my mind off of the dumpster fire that is the Chicago Bears organization. But it was kind of like, you know how you miss your boyfriend even though you guys aren't on good terms and you guys are kind of separated a little bit? That's kind of how I felt when I was at the Texans versus Steelers game. I couldn't focus on the game in front of me because the Texans had the scoreboard of the Chicago Bears game throughout the entire game, and I kept looking over at the screen to see how are the Bears doing. Are they okay? Are they winning? Like, I was concerned about my boyfriend that I have a problem with at the moment. And so I saw that they were ahead by 21 points, and I felt really comfortable. I said, you know what? They finally got one in the bag. I'm going to leave this stadium, and I'm going to be really excited about my team. They're going to get their first win out of 13 games. Finally going to get one. I was wrong. Because the Chicago Bears somehow managed to mess that up still. They erased a 21-point deficit. Justin Fields had the best game of his career. 19 completions in a row. And yet they still managed to mess this up. People are still trying to convince me that Justin Fields isn't a good quarterback when he's in the running to be one of the best offensive players of the week this week. And the defense blew the entire game. Nothing was done. And of course, Justin Fields had the opportunity, and they gave him the opportunity to get them back into the lead. Of course, putting it in his hands. And then, of course, he throws the interception, and then the Bears end up losing the game. This is a disaster. Should have never got to the point where the ball had to be in Justin Fields' hands to win the game. They had a 21-point lead.
Well, they should have never. They should have never taken their foot off the gas.
Never. The Broncos
and that's what they did.
17 points in the fourth quarter. The Broncos came back. A team who had just lost 50 points to the Dolphins the week before. And the Bears were the underdog in that game for a reason.
Isn't the coach of the Bears a defensive-minded coach?
No. Yes, he is a defensive-minded coach. And
Fire the coach.
The coach needs to be fired. Eberflus needs to be fired. This is 14 games in a row, worst in Bears franchise history. Fire Eberflus. Fire Luke Getsy. And get rid of everybody. I don't give a damn about the new stadium that they're trying to build. And let me just tell you more about this dumpster fire. Chase Claypool came out last Friday during a press conference, and he said that he flat out said that no, the Bears organization coaches are not putting him in a position to be the best version of himself. He said no. Then shortly thereafter, it was announced he was going to be inactive for the game against the Denver Broncos. And people are thinking it's probably because he finally came out fed up and said, no, they're not putting me in a position to be successful. Justin Fields also alluded to that, but then he backpedaled his comments the week before. Then just to add fuel to the fire, to show how much of a dumpster fire this organization is, after Chase Claypool makes those comments and then he becomes inactive, then Matt Eberflus, the Bears head coach, says that it was Chase Claypool's decision to come home. Literally 30 minutes later, the Bears organization comes out, negates everything that Matt Eberflus says, and says, no, we asked Chase Claypool to stay home. Matt Eberflus also said that Chase Claypool was going to be at Hallis Hall this week. And then Chase Claypool never shows up. Then Eberflus backpedals his comments and said he's not going to be here after all. So what is it, Chicago Bears organization? Between the equipment getting jacked, between the 14 losses in a row, between Chase Claypool not being able to sit out, be at Hallis Hall for whatever reason, and it's obvious he's played his last down as a Chicago Bear and he's not going to be with the Bears anymore. This organization has proven that they cannot have a winning culture, and it's I don't even care about fire. We can fire whoever, but Mike Ditka always said that no matter how many times you replace coaches and you replace the offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, if you don't change what's at the top, nothing's ever going to change. He's literally sending out smoke signals to all of the Bears fans, and he's telling us that the problem is at the top. George McCaskey, you cannot run a team. Let yourself go. Sell the team. I don't care if Chicago has to move to a different city. I'd hate for them to move to a different city, but it's to the point where I'm trying to let go of this team emotionally, and I can't anymore. And I said earlier in the season that my mental health is contingent upon how the Chicago Bears are performing, and they're not performing well. And me and myself and other people who follow the Bears religiously are just over it. They're the only team. Baseball, basketball, hockey, they're the NFL. Everybody has won a game since October of 2022 except for you. I can't deal with it anymore. And then people are like, "Oh, you need to stop complaining. You need to stop." No, I can do whatever the hell I want. I've been following this team for too damn long, and all of us have to complain in order for change to occur. And you could replace whoever with whatever, but I see through the bullshit. Matt Eberflus and all the coaches tend to go through this phase with the Chicago Bears where they start looking like they're liars because the organization says something else. Like, have some goddamn consistency and produce a winning team. I'm over it, and it is sad and pathetic that Justin Fields looks like he's just defeated. Who wouldn't be defeated after losing 14 games in a row? Who wouldn't be defeated?
He had an amazing game. Of course, you know me, I'm looking at the highlights, and I was like, damn, this kid. So it showed, because that's not a fluke. What he did is not a fluke. Bad quarterbacks, Baker Mayfield has never done that, right? Some of the top quarterbacks in the leagues have never done that. Cat was playing. However, he's playing for the Bears. And I don't know, are you still a fan of the Bears? It's like you like to be abused. That's the only thing I can think.
I think you're right.
You and Dallas Cowboy fans.
You're right. But no, at least they're getting at least one win. Like, we can't even get out one win. Now, Aaron Lemming, he's been on one of my shows before. He said this, and I'm just going to leave it at this. Justin Fields made one mistake on the fumble, and the coaching staff took the ball out of his hands.
Yeah.
They called 2 pass plays on what could and should have been the game-winning drive. I don't need to see anything else from this coaching staff. They are bad. They're the reasons why the game is.
Yeah, I hear you. All right.
Real quick though, did you see that? Side note, did you see that? I was gonna put this on conspiracy theory with the Chiefs.
That what?
The Kansas City Chiefs. For Sauce Gardner, I think it was the last play of the game, and Vegas had a certain point percentage, like over and under, right? And what happened? Oh, Patrick Mahomes threw an interception. And after the interception was caught by the Jets, the ref threw a flag, and that cost the Jets everything was overturned. It cost the Jets like the interception, and they blew the game. They didn't
blow the game because of that. However, this is something we see all the time in the NFL. It's nothing new. Flags at the wrong time and everything else. Listen, if you're going to look at me sideways and still watch the NFL and think it's conspiracy theory, then that's on you. Because if you think something conspiracy theory, that's somebody lying to you. They are lying to you. And if you watch it, that's a problem you have.
No, well, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I'm kind of over the NFL right now, because after I saw that play with Sauce Gardner, because, I mean, it was after an interception was thrown. So it kind of leads me to believe, like.
But they've done that before. It's not the first time that's happened.
Yeah.
And just because the line was there, because the line shouldn't even been there. They should have destroyed the Jets.
I just don't think that they wanted Zach Wilson to win a game. And because
Why?
also think about this.
Why?
Think about this. Taylor Swift. The Taylor Swift effect. Taylor Swift has been at the past 2 Chiefs games. And she's there, and the viewership for the Chiefs games have gone up. Jersey sales have gone up. This is good business for the NFL. Taylor Swift showing up to the games where Patrick Mahomes is winning.
But they were winning before. They've been winning for the past 4 or 5 years.
But that call was so damn obvious. Like, it was.
Listen, I saw Michael Jordan push off in one championship game.
No, I remember that game. Don't even get me started on that damn. Don't even get
me
started.
Off.
No, he didn't push off.
Okay.
He didn't push off.
But if you think that football is fixed, then there's no way we can ever argue the greatest player in the world, because that means everything's fixed.
You know what? I just can't with you right now, because, like, I feel like you have a vendetta against Michael Jordan. I don't even want to get into that.
No, not at all. I'm just making factual statements. All right, this or that.
Okay, let's go.
Booker T or Goldberg?
Booker T.
That's because you met him.
Too.
It's almost a tie. It's almost a tie for me. Mm-hmm. But I like both of them.
Who you gotta go?
All right.
Who you gonna?
Ooh.
You can give me answer.
I'd probably have to go Goldberg.
Why Goldberg?
I just liked Goldberg. I liked Goldberg a lot. So that's mine.
Who is he? Your favorite wrestler of all time?
Oh no.
Who is it?
Hacksaw Jim Duggan is one. The Junkyard Dog. So these are all regional wrestling companies or regional wrestlers out of Houston, Texas. Mm-hmm. So Junkyard Dog, Superfly Jimmy Snuka. Mm-hmm. Like, I go way back. Mm-hmm. But I would have to say The Rock. I'd have to say The Rock.
Yeah.
The Rock's a badass.
I was watching old clips of The Rock the other day, and I forgot.
Did you see when he came back?
I forgot how fine he was.
Did you see when he came back just recently?
To San Antonio?
No, to
oh, yes.
Yeah, with Pat McAfee.
Yes.
Watch Pat McAfee. That's the funniest thing in the world.
You know, Hacksaw Jim Duggan has been to River City Wrestling Con before.
I had heard about that, yes.
Yeah. I don't know why you haven't been to a River City Wrestling event. Why you
All
haven't
right.
come through.
So this or that. Best city vibes. Houston or Dallas?
Well, this is really tough. I haven't been in Dallas enough to say Dallas, but I will say this past weekend, Dallas showed me a lot of love. A lot of love.
Yeah, but that's consistently Houston whoops Dallas's ass for city vibes.
Yeah.
Like the vibe of the city.
Yeah.
Dallas has this podunk feel sometimes.
Well, I think they're both great cities, but I would give Houston the edge because of the music culture. They have like Zero, Slim Thug, Chamillionaire, Paul Wall. All those people really shaped my childhood. So I really love their music. I didn't really hear any Dallas rappers come out and kind of like get in my ear like that. Plus, I have a lot of family in Houston. Plus, Houston has shown me a lot of love in the sports community. But I do also love Dallas as well. So this is a tough one for me, but I am going to go with Houston because of the
H-Town.
What about you?
Houston. Grew up in Houston. I was in Houston. I was 15 years old. Huge Houston Rockets fan. They traded Akeem Olajuwon. I said, screw the Rockets. Have hated them ever since. Became a Spurs fan. I was at the Memorial Day Miracle. Sean Elliott shot. I was actually at that game. Changed my life. Amazing. Like, I think that's where some of my fandom comes from because I was there. But yeah, so yeah, Houston all day long, and Dallas has just never been like one of my best thing to come out of Dallas was actually Tyler, Texas, and that's Mr. Jamie Foxx.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Bun B from H-Town too. If you had to pick, Island, Houston versus San Antonio.
City vibes.
Just Houston versus
like pure
San Antonio.
city.
No, just
Houston.
Oh.
Yeah, just Houston. I love San Antonio. I love my city. If I leave, I'll probably go to a Caribbean island somewhere. But I love the energy driving into Houston. Like you hit Katy,
Yeah,
and it's like an electric boat. Like everything gets faster. You're driving.
Right. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
And San Antonio, you come back in, you hit 1604, and it's like ding 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 ding. It's just we're a little country bumpkin town sometimes.
I like San Antonio. I'm gonna roll.
I
with
love
San
this city.
Antonio.
I love
San
this city.
Antonio.
We need something more than the Spurs.
Yeah.
Huh?
I don't want to get my head chopped off. Yeah, for sure.
No, we need something more than the Spurs.
How do you feel about Spurs Media Day before I let you go?
I listen, I enjoy sports, but I think sometimes it's what are we gonna learn? Yo, did you see Jimmy Butler?
Yes.
Did you see
His
so
hair.
people were saying like, was that Halloween or is he actually pierced up?
No, he's in his emo phase right now, he said.
So he's pulling Dennis Rodman.
What I think is he really wanted Damian Lillard to come to Miami Heat, and because that didn't happen, now he's in his emo phase.
Oh.
Because I think he wants to win a ring more than anybody in the league. Anybody.
He probably deserves one more than anybody in the league.
That's why, and I feel like so does Damian Lillard. That's why I would have loved to have seen them two together.
Yeah, he's got his hair straightened, kind of looking like Andre 3000. So I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see what's up. We'll see what's up.
You know who said they wanted to come to the show?
Me and your mama too. Go ahead.
Derek Gervin.
Oh, that's right. You mentioned that.
George Gervin's little brother played for the New Jersey Nets. He wants to come on the show and talk basketball with us. He likes the podcast. So
let's do it.
we want to have him on soon. So we'll see you guys next week. Sorry that we came on so late. We were doing the interview boot camp with all of the up-and-coming. Can you give people a preview of what they can expect with the interview boot camp?
No.
Okay.
Let's go.
All right. Bye. Love y'all. Bye.
Bye.